Hi, welcome back to my channel, OCD, Music, and Me. My name's Kyle. I'm a violinist and teacher, and I have OCD. Today, I thought I would answer a question I got from a viewer. Someone asked, was there a time earlier in my life when I thought I might have had OCD, or was the pandemic the first time? I've gotten this kind of question a few times. I'll say, as of this recording, I'm 36 years old. I think the best way to answer this is that my issue with contamination during the pandemic is the first time I realized I actually have OCD, but it's not the first time I realized I had an issue with it. The first time I realized I had a problem would have been something like 6, 7, 8 years ago. I can't remember exactly when. I developed a really terrible problem with double checking stuff, like if the stove was on or if the coffee pot was on, fire hazards. Whether or not my car was locked and the windows were up, whether or not my alarm clock was turned on before I went to bed, even whether or not I put my violin back in its case. Now, you might think, come on, everyone's wondered whether or not they turn their stove on. That doesn't mean you're OCD. And that's true, but you probably didn't double check these things the way I did. For example, uh, before I would leave my place to teach lessons or go to a rehearsal, it became normal for me to spend something like 45 minutes checking whether or not I had turned my coffee pot off. It even got to a point where I would have to unplug the thing, take it out of my kitchen, and put it in a different room. Then I'd have to place it in a place where I knew the cord couldn't reach another outlet. And even after all that, I could leave my place, get into my car, drive a mile or two down the road, and be so overwhelmed with anxiety because of thoughts like, are you sure the coffee pot's off? What if you didn't actually do everything you think you just did and it was all just a hallucination? You better go back and check. What if it's on and it causes a fire and your building ends up burning down in flames? All of your stuff will burn up with it. And, you're not the only one that lives in that building. What if the fire you're about to cause ends up killing someone? And then I'd have to turn around, spend another 5, 10, 15 minutes double checking that it was really off before I could finally pull myself away to wherever it was I had to go. Even then, I'd spend the rest of the day wondering if I left it on or whether or not my place burned down. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Kyle, coffee pots have a timer built into them, so they turn off automatically. Well, what if it malfunctions? You can't prove to me that it won't. There have been a couple of other instances, too, where I think OCD probably played a factor in my life. For example, I think it actually played a factor in how I learned music, but I'm not totally sure. I should say I've never been diagnosed with any kind of OCD other than contamination OCD. So technically, I'm just speculating, but based on what I know now, I don't see anything other than OCD that could explain the double checking problem I just told you about. The main reason I didn't seek treatment then was that I didn't know I needed it. At the time, I didn't even know it was OCD. I couldn't have even told you what OCD is. I just knew I was doing a bunch of ridiculous stuff and had no idea why. But I was able to keep it a secret, largely because I lived by myself and many of the behaviors I did were inside my apartment. That's one reason I wanted to make these videos. If other people saw these videos and became more aware of what OCD can really look like, maybe more people will be able to identify it more easily and seek help sooner. If I had learned some strategies for how to deal with OCD before the pandemic, maybe my contamination OCD wouldn't have gotten so extreme. Anyway, thanks for the question, and now for some music. I decided to end this video with a recording of some violin duos by Béla Bartók. Bartók was a great pianist and composer at the beginning of the 20th century, and his collection and study of folk music was the beginning of a field of academia that is now known as ethnomusicology. Bartók would take folk melodies and other elements of folk music and incorporate them into his own music, while putting his own twist on them. The 44 violin duos he wrote are a great example of this. These were written specifically for violin students, not professionals. And out of the 44 duos, all but 2 are based on actual folk tunes. The 3 I recorded are called Menuetto, Play Song, and Pillow Dance. These were some that I liked to give my students when I gave in-person lessons. Right now, I still do all of my teaching virtually for obvious reasons. And in case you're wondering, it is getting easier to play with the headphones on, so that's a good sign. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. And let me know of any comments, questions, or ideas you may have in the comments section below.